Hi Rosy friends, it's Julie, and today I'm going to be talking about the container gardening I'm doing to grow veggies and fruits that are a part of my rosacea friendly diet. I started off a few years ago doing this, and these two books, by the way, are awesome. This is not a sponsored video, but I do highly recommend checking them out. I'll put links to them in the description below. But I have now moved to a new home that has an even better balcony than my last one. It has a lot more sunlight than the under 4 hours that I had the last time, so I am deciding to grow a huge vegetable and fruit garden to go with my rosacea friendly diet. And here is exactly how I've done it. I started off with these little peat pods because I do everything from seed, because as much as possible I'm growing organically. These are awesome little peat pods. They're just peat moss in these little sort of netted thingies. They're completely dried out and skinny when you first get them, and then you add water and they absorb a tremendous amount of it super fast. In fact, you'll see in this video that I completely underestimated it, the amount of water needed, and I have to keep adding it all the way through. But they start off really skinny and then they grow very quickly and they grow surprisingly tall. Every time I use them, it surprises me and it's so much fun to do. It really brings out the kid in me. And yeah, so here is exactly how I did it. I have recorded every moment of the peat process and then a little bit of the actual planting, if you want to call it that. But yeah, so what I am going to be planting on my balcony, or what I've actually already done, though not in this video yet, is two kinds of tomatoes, cherry tomatoes and grape tomatoes. I've grown two kinds of lettuce, curly leaf lettuce and romaine lettuce. I've got basil, I have parsley, I have snow peas and regular green peas and yellow beans and green beans, and I'm also growing broccoli for the first time this year, which I'm extremely excited about because I've never done it before. And I'm hoping that, well, all of these things have sprouted so far, just a little spoiler alert to where this video is going, but they have sprouted so far. But if they don't end up actually growing into a really healthy plant, then I will go to a garden center and get a pre-sprouted one. But I like growing everything from seed. That's a lot of fun for me, and it does start out with these little peat pods. And if you've been watching, then you can see that they have been growing super quickly. I'm sorry that I filmed this with my old camera. I really regret doing that now. It will flip to the new camera later on in this video, but I thought it would be cool to leave the old camera right near the area where I was starting my garden so that I could just pick it up and constantly do it. And I can see now that that was a mistake because it keeps going blurry as it tries to focus. But I did want to actually use the footage because it was, it was the one that I used right from the start. But yeah, as you can see, these peat pods are growing super fast. This is not sped up. This is actually how quickly they go. It's a lot of fun to watch. You can even see the water level dropping as the little things grow really quickly. I tried sticking my finger in there to show exactly how much they've expanded. But they're really cool. I just got them at the dollar store that is within walking distance of my home. And so they are available absolutely everywhere. And then they grow so much that the tops kind of bust open. And then I just jam the seeds into those open, busted tops. Once they finish growing, see, it's now all dried up right in front of your very eyes. And yep, and then I plant seeds right in the top. So actually in this footage, I'm adding more water because I didn't add enough. I completely underestimated it, even though that was the second batch for this season. But you can see that they are soaking up the water so quickly that it's moving over to the left right there. I just personally find that really cool. It's like those old cloths or towels that come in those little pellets and then you add water and they expand. I used to love those when I was a kid, and that's what it always reminds me of. So yeah, so I like to grow my own vegetables as much as possible, not only because it's a huge amount of fun, but it is also a great way to get the maximum possible amount of nutrients out of your food. I mean, I like to shop at farmers markets and places like that in the summertime, but it is even closer if all I have to do is walk to my balcony and then pick the food and then eat it pretty much within the next few minutes. So that means that it has not had the chance to lose any of its vitamins and minerals and all the other good things in it. And the better the nutrition that you can get, the better it is for your skin. And when it comes to rosacea, the better you can give your skin, the worthwhile the effort. So I absolutely love growing these things. This is about 3 days later. Well, this isn't a previous batch, but this is about 3 days in. You can see that the peas have already sprouted, the lettuce is down on the end, and the second from the end, those two are broccoli. Those have sprouted, and then there's a little teeny little lettuce that's right there at the surface of the soil. I was so excited about that. I absolutely love growing things from seed. I've been doing that since I was in very early, I think first or second grade. I just love that. So that's the first batch, and here I'm getting ready for the second batch a few days later, because I'm going to kind of load up on a whole new batch of veggies and things. So this footage is from a few weeks ago, and I made sure to just kind of keep track of the whole thing. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I've been tracking the whole process. So after all the water was absorbed, I did add some seeds. Those were the broccoli seeds, and then the 2 kinds of peas, and there are some beans in there. And those ones are, I believe, those are the basil ones. My camera had a hard time focusing. They're the little gray things right in the very middle. And then we have lettuce on the very, very end. I tried to plant a lot of lettuce so that I'll be able to harvest it quite regularly. I'm really hoping for kind of a large crop, despite the fact that I have a balcony garden and it's all in containers. I was hoping for a lot. Some of the seeds are extremely tiny. My camera had the hardest time focusing on them, but I am trying to show them to you. They're right there, the little gray sort of dots. But yeah, so that's what it looked like as soon as I planted them. I didn't even bother jamming them all the way down. I just set them in so that they would get wet. If you follow me on Instagram, as I said, here's one of the pictures that I posted, and then here are the progress reports as everything started to germinate and sprout. And then here are some tomato plants that I got at a kit at the local dollar store. I didn't even think it would grow, but they absolutely did. The peas were growing so quickly there, but then the lettuce on the very right was very tall too. Again, there's the peas. They're such a rewarding thing to plant if you want to do it from scratch. And here are all the plants. The first thing this morning, I decided I would plant them. So those are all the cherry tomatoes that I did as my dollar store experiment. If you ever buy tomato seeds from the dollar store, they will grow. I have 30 of them right now. So I've planted them all, and I'll weed out all the ones that are kind of weaker and that fall down. But yeah, so here were all of my little sprouts. Surprisingly enough, the thing that did the worst were the beans, which I've had tons of luck with in the past. I had only 2 of them sprout. There's one of them right there in the middle. And then later today, I finally planted everything out on the balcony. I took all my little sprouts and I put them into their containers. Very successful. It took a long time and it hurt my back, but they're all out there. So there's some broccoli, and then here are my beans, the one tall one, and there's a little teeny one on the left that you won't see because it's behind the rusty angel from several years ago. Here are some lettuce plants that I've put out there, and then some peas and snow peas. And then this year I've also tried these plastic cloche things. You'll see it after these peas here, which I'm so proud of, which is why I filmed them so heavily. And the lettuce and the basil and the parsley that are in this little container here. But the cloche that I was talking about, they look like this, and they're supposed to protect from frost. I sincerely doubt they'll do that, but what I'm hoping for is, because I don't have a shelter over top of me, they'll stop my little sprouts from getting beaten down from the rain when it happens. These are some of the tomato plants. So I've put some of the tomatoes and some of the other plants under the cloches, and I have left some of them out in the open kind of as an experiment to see what works better. But oddly, the tomatoes, see how it's fogged up like that? It's like it created its own little rainforest in there. So I'm hoping the sunlight will get through it. They are vented. I tried to show there how they're vented. You can open and close it. So if there's supposed to be frost, then I could close that. I'm hoping there won't be any more frost for the year because, for goodness sake, it is halfway through May. But I have got my little turtle bobblehead guy watching over my garden. See, isn't he the cutest? I just love him. I need a name for him. If anybody has a suggestion for a name for my turtle, please do suggest it in the comments below. But there, yeah, so that would be my container garden with its progress every now and again, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every Sunday and Thursday. And other than that, I will see you next time.